Happy Bank Holiday Monday. It's time to drink shit beer. Way. Hello, welcome to Dear Dwyery. I have a couple of questions that came to me on my Tumblr that are very long and I don't have, not the time, I have loads of time. I don't have the inclination. No, that's not fair. I'm shit at writing, so I'm going to answer them via the medium of video, which is something that I'm slightly more adept at. Adept, it's not the word I was going for. See, it's the word problem. Again, that's why I script everything. First question, just gonna fucking hammer through these guys. Ewan Dower. Ewan. Is that like a Scottish name? Ewan. I usually don't pay attention to the changes FIFA makes each year. I just kind of buy, which I understand is silly, because fuck it, I enjoy it each time, so what do I care? That said, from what you know about it, do you think this year will be any sort of improvement? Also, what consoles are you going to be buying it for? I'm probably going to be picking it up on PS4, so that's where I'll be getting it. Never really was into Ultimate Team stuff anyway. No, Ewan, I also was not into Ultimate Team. In fact, I was especially not into Ultimate Team when I was on holiday in Dubai once, and I had 80 quid fucking stolen from me by some asshole who broke into my Xbox account and bought a load of digital friggin' cards. Shit Premiership players. This FIFA versus Pro Ev thing it's like, I really hate talking about it every year. We did the confessionals at Gamescom after I played Pro Ev. New Pro Ev looks really good. It's got Fox Engine. It still only has Man United in it. Like, FIFA's a really great game. They've managed to clean up FIFA really good. FIFA 08 onwards, they nailed it. 09 kind of, and then 10 was the one that kind of broke it. This Pro Ev seems to be like it's there. It's at that stage, but the problem is FIFA's fucking good. When FIFA got rejuvenated, it was when Pro Ev was getting really shitty. So, like, really at this stage, whenever people ask where you should get like FIFA or Pro Ev, just get the one you've been playing already, because it's probably going to be great again. Like, FIFA every year is smashing. I get both of them every year, and Pro Ev is always fun when you've got some mates around and stuff and trying to change it up, but there's only so much time you can have for games about one particular sport. As for this year's FIFA, I haven't played it yet. It was on the show floor, but I didn't get a behind closed doors. At EA, we were concentrating on Titanfall, Battlefield 4. I actually got to see the UFC game, but that was only because it was a really small line. From what I hear, it sounds like a kind of a step up towards what they're going to do for the next gen one, once there's a bigger install base. Like, for instance, all the new physicsy, Ignite engine stuff isn't going into the PC version. So if you're getting this on PC, a football game, I'd probably say get Pro Ev, because all the Fox engine stuff will look really cool. But yeah, get it on PS4. In fact, if you buy a PS4 with FIFA, it'll still cost you less than if you buy the Xbox One with the FIFA pre-order thing. So you answered that question yourself. This year's FIFA is going to be FIFA. Mark played it actually, and Mark said that the graphics were smoother. He said frame rate and animation wise, but it did not look like a massive shift, like, for instance, driving games right out the gate on a console, new platform, always look incredible. FIFA football games always take a little bit of time. Yeah, fuck it, get FIFA. All your mates are going to be getting it anyway, and you don't want to be that one guy who plays Pro Ev. You know, I still have to switch my controls to new alternate, never thinks I'm an asshole. MJ102 asks, Dear Danny, got a nice ring to it. New GameSpot show? I don't have a show, well, no. I can't have two op-ed shows. My head's not that big. And this one's called Dear Dwyery. That's better. It's alliteration. Jane Douglas came up with that. She owns the copyright. I was wondering, in an episode of The Point, you could cover the relationship between developers and publishers. It may seem like a boring topic, but most gamer, myself included, don't really understand it. The consensus is EA bad. So when Plants vs. Zombie 2 came out free to play, lots of people assumed it was a money-grabbing ploy. I don't think it feels that way. Just how much sway publishers have in the development of a game. You're asking a pretty broad question. In relation to EA, for instance, a lot of the games that they publish are in studios that they own or have very rigid contracts with. So that's different, for instance, than EA publishing Valve's games, which is very much we need a partner to help us with marketing and in the real world and create boxes and put games in them and then ship them to shops. When EA, in terms of their own brand stuff, like especially in relation to stuff like, you know, the Battlefield, Medal of Honor, or Battlefield and Medal of Honor, yeah, would be a kind of an easy take on this. That was a very specific ploy to try and wean people off of Activision's Call of Duty, where they're going to have every second year. So you can see how like Battlefield has been forced into this biannual release schedule, which is obviously impacts quite heavily on the game and the amount of people who work on it and the funds and all that sort of stuff. So you've asked quite a wide question, so it's kind of hard to pin down. Perhaps I could do an episode of The Point. Actually, it's maybe not a bad idea, but in relation to what you said about Plants vs Zombies, like EA will never make a game they don't think they're going to make money off of. They will just spend appropriate funds. So for instance, Mirror's Edge 2 is going to come out. First game didn't really sell that well, but it's one of these darlings that everyone played. Mostly actually, from my perspective anyway, working in retail, because Mirror's Edge was one of the highest traded in games because it was only 6 hours long and you didn't have to like you'd complete it in one go and never play it again. So shitloads of people played Mirror's Edge. Not many people bought Mirror's Edge, or at least bought it in a way that EA received funds for it. So in relation to the free-to-play stuff, like there are loads of articles out there that will show that for many games going free-to-play actually will get you more revenue, because if you have, you know, World of Warcraft is the one at the moment where I was talking to some people in Cologne who said that's going to go free-to-play when the movie comes out, because right now they've got 6 million people spending £6 a month or whatever on that game, whereas if they go free-to-play, sure, like maybe 80% people mightn't pay anything, but then that 20% will probably spend more than £6. Like you think about how much you go. The buying habits of people who are willing to spend money in those situations are similar, I always feel, to the buying habits of somebody who's on a night out. If they really just want to go somewhere, they'll pay for a fucking taxi. They won't bother getting the bus, or they'll pay for, you know, a double vodka instead of a single vodka. If you're willing to pay for money and you don't find it weird in that environment, you will pay money. So free to play works. So Plants vs Zombie 2, you know, from a business standpoint, I'm sure EA were like, this is going to be free to play. But then in terms of the developers themselves making it, like once they're given those creative boundaries, they're going to try and make the best game they can. So if they're really good designers and really good artists and really good developers, then, you know, perhaps the boundaries don't matter. So like that happens, I think, in probably every creative industry, and it certainly happens in theater, it certainly happens in film. I think it probably happens in games journalism to a certain extent as well. We have to hit targets, but then we also want to talk about stuff and all that. So you know, it's a complicated situation, but I think we're in a situation, fortunately, as Games Press, we have quite a lot of contact with developers and publishers, and nothing really shady happens. And if it does, and if a game is clearly being made to get loads of money, which basically is what I feel about, for instance, Call of Duty and Madden, which are two games which have had scant evolution in the past couple of years, I think most people know. Like, I think most people know that those games are kind of churned out. So, yeah, you don't need an episode of The Point now. I just shouted on about it there. Anonymous asks, ooh, Danny, could you record a little blog laying out some of your plans? Would you possibly consider talking about Bioshock Infinite? It is a ridiculous achievement, both technical and narrative-wise. I'd love to hear your extended views on it. Cheers, dude. Thank you for asking. I absolutely love Bioshock Infinite. I went to play it the day before, I think it was the day before I was going to America for like 5 weeks. I think it came out. So I had to play it over 2 nights, so I just fucking mowed through it. Bioshock Infinite is one of the best games I have ever played. I absolutely love it. I'm one of these weirdos though who likes like the second Matrix movie and kind of doesn't hate the third Matrix movie. So like multiverse stuff and stories that don't really make sense but are entertaining and engaging, I'm totally into. Like, I forget what the quote is. I think Carolyn tweeted it a couple of days ago, but it was basically like I rather play and something that tries to be different and fails than something that tries to be mediocre and succeeds. And like Infinite, I absolutely loved. I loved the shooting in that game. And I'm really particular about shooting. I did not like shooting in the first Bioshock. Like, I love first-person shooters and stuff. I got a real Counter-Strikey vibe off of Bioshock Infinite. Like, with the fucking headshots, and you heard, like, the violin strings, and, yeah, the way the animations went when you plugged them in certain ways. Yeah, I absolutely loved Bioshock Infinite. Everyone should play Bioshock Infinite. I think Bioshock Infinite is a very good shout for Game of the Year. Not that that needs to be a thing. Except Grand Theft Auto is coming out and it's probably going to win it. Even though I've never played it, it's just Rockstar are pretty fucking good at doing that. Yeah, I think it's a game that everyone should play because it's wonderful. And the story is incredible, and the world and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people have banged on drums about Bioshock Infinite enough, without me getting in there. But yeah, I fucking love that game, and everyone should play it. Lumley asks, any news on South Park and Stick of Truth? No, there was nothing out of Gamescom. There was nothing out of Comic-Con when I was there, which was a little bit surprising. That game's still in development. I believe when they are ready to show some proper gameplay, we'll see. I don't know. Could be soon, could be not soon. There's a lot of stuff coming out in the next couple of months in terms of news and stuff, so I could see them sitting on it for a while. Game looks good though. Looks interesting. Looks like a good South Park game. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. There's a couple other questions, but it's asking me stuff that I don't really think I can say on a video yet. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Thank you very much. Sorry about all the traffic and whatnot. I hope all had a great bank holiday Monday. Those of you in the UK, of course. It's bank holiday earlier in Ireland. It's the first weekend in August. You Americans don't get many bank holidays. Oh no, you get loads of bank holidays. You get shitloads. You just don't get much like holiday days in work, which must suck. I got a couple of days off now in lieu. Days in lieu we get, which doesn't mean like days in the toilet. That wouldn't work for the Americans anyway. Means when we work weekends, we tend to get like a day or two off. We were in Germany from Saturday until Saturday, so technically we had 3 days on weekends where we were there. But we get 2 days off, which is quite cool. But it's a little bit of you have to be clever around it because we can't all take 1 day off because then there'll be no video producers and nothing will get fucking made. And then also, for instance, like I have spent today or a part of today writing this week's The Point because it has to go up on Wednesday. So I can't take like tomorrow and Wednesday off because then the video won't go on the internet and then that would be bad. So I think I'm taking like a nice long weekend, a Friday and a Monday maybe, shoot off somewhere. Don't really know I'm talking about that. If you have any suggestions for places I should go on holiday, please leave them in the comments. Alright, I'm going to go and continue writing this week's The Point, which is about how video games cover the console wars, why they cover the console wars. It's all about traffic and hits and public perception of games journalists and that we're all getting fucking paid off and we're obviously not and all that shit. So it's going to be fun. This is super inside baseball this week and I'm really interested to see how people react because there is often a discussion inside of games sites and games press over who exactly views original content on game sites, especially a site like GameSpot. So I'm interested in how inside baseball I can bring the discussion about the industry or about the press or anything like that, and how many people will still engage with it. So I feel like this is kind of like a litmus test for that. I don't want to get too inside baseball, especially when there's like actual news coming out. Yeah, I'm sort of interested, so this is going to be kind of a little test in that regard. Alright, I'm going to go. I wonder if the sun had changed. The contrast on this is shit. Ironing board. There's a weird picture. There's a painting of a strange old man on the wall. Say bye. Bye. Bye, old man.